What's going on, everybody? Lucas Grandsire here. Wanted to try something a little bit different today, see if we can make some content that's a little bit more fun, see how well this does, and then maybe do more stuff like this in the future. So before we get started, remember to like, subscribe. If you like this video, like it, obviously, comment, and then, maybe I'll do more stuff like this in the future. Let's see how this does. Before we get started, before we start cringing together, watching some of these old interviews with Israel Adesanya or Adesanya, I have to give credit to Drake Riggs because he was the person I saw that originally did the reacting to his old interviews. I thought it was a great idea. I didn't want to do that myself, but then this kind of opportunity with Israel came up, and I thought, yeah, this is a great concept. So if you want to check out his video, I put the link in the description. So you got to give credit where credit's due, especially if you're like me and you're not very original. All right, so to get some context before we truly get started in this adventure together and we get bonded over mutual cringeness, I interviewed Israel from February 2018 to February 2019. I talked to him a total of 6 times. One of them was for Flow Combat over an article, so I don't have that recording, so we're not going to look at that. And then another time was done over video, but there's an issue with the video, so I don't have that either. So we've got 4 of them. All of them are bad. All of them are cringe. And yeah, I'm going to try not to cry as we do this. So before we truly hop into that first video, I know some of you are probably wondering why Israel? Am I clout chasing? Am I doing it for SEO purposes? Am I some kind of marketing genius? No, obviously not. The reason I'm doing it is because of this video right here.
People don't appreciate it. When I was doing interviews all the time, at some points Eugene was getting me to do something. I was like, who's this guy? I was like, what? It's just some kid in a room or just something. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it just because I want to give them the time of day and respect their journalistic craft. But then I just it came to a point I'm like, I got to look after me. I can't just be out here just being a whore.
As you can imagine, what wasn't thrilled when I saw it, my first reaction was the same one that the GOAT would have had if he was talking about him.
It became personal with me.
Yeah, took that personally. All right, so let's hop into it. We've got 4 of them. All of them are bad. All of them are cringe. And let's go ahead and cry together as we watch them. All right, here we go. Interview number 1. Just to give you some context, this is my second ever video interview. I was kind of nervous. I was kind of excited. So let's dive into this thing. I am joined here today by a man who needs no introduction, but he's still going to get one anyways. The last stylebender himself, Israel Adesanya, who's coming off a big win over Marvin Vettori. Israel, how are you doing today?
I'm good, my man. I just got some light working on the weights and on the air done, so yeah, I'm feeling good with the blood flowing.
Yeah, where am I catching you right now? Are you jogging? Ooh, we're not even a minute in yet, and I'm having trouble watching this, so... First of all, you can hear me breathing, which is terrible. You see me looking off to the side because the problem is I had the questions in front of me and the Skype tab put Israel on the side. So you see me kind of looking at him awkwardly to the side. You hear me breathing. Obviously, a lot of nervousness. The sound is crap because I'm recording it on my phone, and it just oh man, it's just not good. This is already a mistake. But let's continue with our mistake. No. Dumbass.
Nah, I'm walking back to the car so I can get somewhere quiet.
Okay. So, listen, you are
because I was jogging, though.
Yeah, okay. So, look, you are coming off a big win over Marvin Vettori. How do you look back at your performance?
When I look back at it now, I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the win. Luke Thomas was talking about people putting too much expectations on a young prospect like myself and expecting us to be magical, but I don't really care about people's expectation of myself. I told them I care about my expectation of myself, so I expected to finish him because that should have been easy work, but I gave him props. He's a tough guy, hard head.
As you can see, I'm clearly getting very emotional as he's talking. I mean, showing way too much emotion right there. I mean, just sitting there completely stone-faced, completely no-selling anything he's saying, despite the fact that he's giving you a funny quote with a hard head. I mean, it's just, oh, man. This is tough. But that's something I've had an issue with throughout my time doing interviews is, you have to react to the stuff. You have to, be more animated. It just clearly not very good. I don't know. That's tough, man. That's the thing about that, though, is that there's a lot of nervousness and I have my questions written down, so that's why there's not really a good flow to it. And credit to Israel though, man. He could have given me one word answers. He could have kept it short. But he's playing the game on this interview, so I have to give him a lot of credit. He certainly did his part, and he showed up, and that's why I got so many views. I believe it's at over 2,000. So credit to him, man, because he played the game. But that was rough. That was a rough watch, and hopefully I moved on from that. But that was yeah, that was tough, man. It's I don't think you should be ashamed of your past because that's what leads you to where you are today. But there's definitely like as I'm watching the video, I'm definitely like, that's not great. All right, let's get into this one. This is, I believe, after he fought Brad Tavares. Yeah, already I'm looking at it. Editing is bad. Webcam has improved though. Give me a little bit of credit there. Obviously you see that there's no lighting. And this was done at night because in France it's a big time difference. So this was done at night. I believe this was the same day Israel went on the Joe Rogan Experience. So lucky for him, he got to talk to two absolute legends in the game all in one evening. And yeah, let's get into it. Adesanya is coming off a huge victory over Brad Tavares at the Ultimate Fighter 27 finale. Israel, how are you today?
I'm relaxed. I'm feeling good. Yeah, just enjoying myself.
So listen, like I mentioned, you're coming off. I don't know what Israel said, because the sound is so bad. But that's his fault. I'll take my credit. I sound like shit, but he doesn't sound very good either. So yeah, that one's on him. But yeah, you can already. There's no like, I don't know. I'm not enjoying it. So that's enough of that one. Honestly, it's not. I mean, it's not very good. You get the point. Like, I'm not gonna show emotion. The sound is bad from Israel. The sound is bad from myself. The video quality is off. I edited it all wrong. I mean, just whatever, man. It sucks to look back on. And honestly, this is the one interview you sort of look at it and you're like, man, he does not want to be here. And I guess I believe he was in LA at the time. So yeah, you're in LA. You're about to do Joe Rogan. I get it. Let's roll on to the next one. So for this third one, I interviewed him after the win over Derek Brunson, and this one is one where you really get the sense that he didn't want to be there, and this one should be especially cringe. So let's go ahead and dive into that one. I'm joined here today by Israel Adesanya, who of course is coming off a big win over Derek Brunson at UFC 230. Israel, what's up, my man? How are you? Okay, first things first, video is really choppy. I mean, intro sucks as usual. Slow. I don't know why. I think you have to appreciate the whole trying to toss in the my man so that I can sort of set up a relationship or rapport with Israel. Completely no sells it, by the way. I mean, you notice he just sitting there just kind of looking at me like, let me know when you're finished. So yeah, that was just right off the bat, not very good. And yeah. I don't know. I guess I didn't get the vibe at the time that he didn't necessarily want to be there, but now looking at it, it's kind of obvious like, oh yeah. But let's keep it rolling for a little bit.
Gravy, just been doing the media stuff again this week, so yeah, another day in the life.
Of course, man. And so how's life going so far? Obviously, you're coming off the big win. It seems like the fans have started to take notice. How have things been going?
Things have been good. For me, I've just been rolling with everything. I've kind of just slowed down my feels, my heart rate, because I'm not trying to get caught up in all this. So I know it's my job, so I'm just getting it. I'm just living. I'm just doing me. But everything around me is changing fast. But I'm keeping that same energy.
Of course, man. And so we know that whenever. Of course, man. That was. You need like a filler word, a filler sentence to say, and mine just kept being "of course, man." And sometimes it's like that where it just doesn't make any sense for that to be an "of course, man." So yeah, I don't know. It's rough to watch for multiple reasons, but there is one really kind of cringy moment that even like thinking back at the time, I was like, "Fuck, why did I say that?" It's came out so weird and clunky. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So you mentioned you're coming to Europe. Obviously, do you have any plans to come to France?
That was one of the plans I was gonna do. Is that where you're based?
Yeah, yeah, that's why I'm asking.
So yeah, I was gonna do Ireland and France, then London, then Amsterdam for New Year's. So that's sort of out the gate now because I've got. Let me see. I've got some other shit planned. There's some bigger fish to fry, if you will.
Of course, man. Well, of course, if you come down to France, you hit me up if you need someone show you around. I guess I'm here.
I appreciate it. Un petit peu en français?
Bien sûr.
Yeah, I don't like high school French. But yeah, next time definitely I'll be hopefully next year in France. But we'll see what happens first. I'll plan everything out after this next game.
Ooh, there it is. That just cringe. That's that feeling. Just first of all, it caught me off guard pulling out the French, and all of a sudden I'm in the interview. I literally live in France. You'd think I would have been a little bit more confident than a meek. Oh, bien sûr. But cringe. I mean, you notice what happens when I move away from the questions and I try to make it personal with Israel, especially in this one. It just awful. But if you're wondering at the beginning of the video if those comments about the kid in his bedroom would that really apply to me, I mean, does that video not do it? I mean, you're clearly talking to, I don't want to call myself a kid, but I guess you can say you're talking to a kid. You see in the background, you see my bed, my couch. That's just how my apartment was at the time. So, I kind of had like this big living room area that's kind of turned into half a bedroom, half of a living room, whatever. I don't have to justify my apartment. I don't even have it anymore. But yeah, big cringe, big cringe. I wasn't able to roll with the punches on that one. Everything came out real awkward. There's once again, lack of emotion, which has been something that's bothered me a long time. And I don't know, this one came out weird. I mean, I'm watching it and the whole time I'm just thinking like, wow, I'm having a lot of trouble with sort of not saying of course a million times. I'm having a lot of trouble, building a rapport with him. I mean, yeah, it's bad for a lot of reasons. And it frustrates me because it's like those are the kind of things that, someone would remember from an interview. And then you think like, shit, you wish you could go back in time and fix that. So I have a real hard time watching that one. It's it's not good for multiple reasons, but it just yeah. Good on Israel for sticking through it. I mean, the tons of yawning and stuff, you can tell it's like, all right, wrap it up. But that was a tough watch. That definitely, you would have thought I would have improved with each video, and for some reason it's not happening. So that's it for that one. Let's look at my final interview. This is for MMA World. If you guys followed my MMA World stuff at all, people love to shit on me and stuff, but I got some pretty good ass guests though. I mean, say what you want about MMA World. I delivered guest wise, and they still weren't happy. So this episode I'm going to show you had Henry Corrales. He was coming off the Pico win. Israel Adesanya, and I was trying to get I talked to Dominic Wooding, and so I sent them the Dominic Wooding interview, and they were like, "Oh no, he's not big enough," which I kind of got pissed off at them because it's like, that's not how it works, man. You know what I mean? Like I give you a big guest, the last one should be whoever but they didn't want Dominic Wooding. Luckily, I still talked to Dominic today, but it just that one kind of pissed me off because it's not fair to the prospects. You're not big enough. Like, bro, I got you Israel on your show. Like I should be whatever, water under the bridge. Let's watch it. This one's bad. Give you some context. Before the Anderson Silva fight, he's actually getting a massage. A lot of people in the comments thought he was touching himself. I don't think that's what it was. But he was getting a massage. So let's watch this final one and see why everyone was shitting on me back when I was at MMA.
I'm good. I need this right now because my body's wrecked from the last hard week of training. So, yeah, I'm just multitasking.
That makes sense, man. Yeah, we know the fight's close, so I'm sure recovery is a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so this fight, obviously, it's a big one. You were telling me last time out you were very excited. You didn't tell me who you were fighting, but I had a hunch. How did this fight come together?
Pretty much just my meeting with Dana. I had a meeting with Dana like 2 months ago, one-on-one, and he had other plans, for me to headline the ESPN.
So I know I'm shitting on my past self a lot. Let's look at the positive. First of all, the bedroom's gone. So what I did is, because I was kind of stuck because I was like, look, I don't really have a choice. I'm in my living room. I don't know what to do. Maybe do it from my kitchen. So what I did is pull the desk out and then put the wall behind me. So that works. So that's why the background's, that doesn't look great, but it's not my bed anymore, which people were starting to tell me, make comments about my bed and how I was making it. So that's how I knew I had to make a change. But noticing right off the bat, a little bit more emotion, right? The video doesn't look great, doesn't sound great, but it's better. It's better than it was. And I'm making an effort. There's a little bit more emotion. Obviously, there's awkwardness. I mean, that's we're seeing that every time. I worked on that a lot, especially moving away from the questions helps limit the awkwardness because now, you're more in tune and willing to roll with the punches. But yeah, man, it just, I mean, I'm sitting there, oh, is recovery good? Mm-hmm. So great, great, great job, making it cringe early on for myself. But let's keep going. Let's see what this interview's got.
Card, but I had other plans, so I put my plans forward, and he liked my plans better. So now we're moving forward with my plans, and everything's going according to plan.
And what was your reaction, when Dana agreed? Because we know some negotiations, they don't always go so smooth. What was your reaction, when he was all in?
Because I've studied this game for so long, so I knew what made sense. And I like their plan as well, but mine just made more sense. And I just think it shows, how they look at me and how they value me in the company. And my ideas, I guess they're grand, but they make sense.
And so we know a lot of people, they were sort of criticizing this fight, saying they felt this wasn't big enough for you, that you should have faced a tougher opponent and everything. What do you sort of say to those remarks? I'm sure you must have seen those all the time.
Once in a while you catch them, but to me, I don't know. People are stupid at the end of the day, and their opinion doesn't mean shit. So I just worry about me. I think people who say that forget who Anderson Silva was. They're probably just like the new fans who came in with the Rousey wave and the Conor wave and don't really know the
improvement. I'm seeing improvement. It's not great, but you can see sort of the foundation for a future, not having such terrible interviews. But let's go ahead and skip to the end, because then we're going to get to see together the last thing I've ever said to, or last thing we've ever said to each other. And then, historic little moment. But yeah, just, I don't know. I kind of wish MMA World had edited a little bit better, maybe added some border instead of just taking the straight Aveyer video, slotting their logo at the bottom. I mean, if we could have made it better presentation wise, but there's so many awkward moments I'm watching these videos. It's like, come on, man, like make it less awkward, make it better transition. I mean, maybe I'm mistaken. I feel like we're not hearing "of course, man" as much, so that's pretty good.
All right, so I have just one more for you. People talk about Mystic Mac, but Mystic Israel here, you've been usually pretty spot on with the predictions. How do you see this fight with Anderson playing out?
See, Mystic Mac kind of made the whole thing weird for me. Not weird. It was cool to watch him do it and call the shots and how he's gonna do it. No, but for me, some fights I just want to enjoy. I don't really like a prediction because it makes me look at the fight differently. So I see many ways this fight can go, and I want to explore those options. That's it. I want to explore them and have fun.
Well, there you have it. That was rough, man. I don't blame him for his comments. It just, that doesn't mean it's good to hear, but yeah, man, it frustrates me because I look at guys like that I haven't interviewed in forever, and I'm like, their last sort of thing is this shitty interview, and I mean, even the sound was off and everything. It just, it sucks, and it pisses me off because I always strive to get better, and I hope I make improvements. So watching this old stuff, it's, it's tricky because you look at it and you're like, God, you know what I mean? There's so much stuff that you look back on today, and it's obvious. I mean, the video quality, the laptop I was using was ass, but there you have it. There you have it. You saw some slight improvements, at least with the last one. I feel like that was important, but yeah, last words to Israel Adesanya were, what's the Mystic Mac, and him pretty much shutting the Mystic Mac shit down. So there you have it. There's looking back at the 4 interviews with Israel Adesanya. I really appreciate it if you guys made it this far. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. That helps me grow. If you enjoyed this, I mean, let me know in the comments. Let me know on social media at Grand Sire MMA. You can find me Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, I mean, if this is good, then, we can definitely make more. And if it's not, then it's a one-off. So either way, I appreciate you guys for watching.